잘 굴리네 let's go 잘 굴리네 솔로 돈을 돌리네 cash 받을 돈이 도미노 어린 어룡 안돼 양철판 개 뜯어놓고 엠린이 들게 소리 받아 펴봐 물게 넣고 stay up 줄 서있는 꼬북마트 알인 해머 하나로 12군데.
We've now got Suno at home thanks to a lovely AI startup under the name HeartMuLa. They have essentially taken 100,000 songs across a massive breadth of genres, distilled it down into a text audio model that essentially rivals Suno 3.5 and perhaps even early betas of Suno 4. This is pretty fucking crazy, and the best part is it does work on consumer graphics cards. It comes out to about requiring 29 to 32 gigabytes. However, you can offload that into CPU, so off onto the memory. So it's very, very, very lightweight for the quality you're getting out of it. I've essentially built a web app around this. It took me a few hours to get essentially the Suno experience at home. And not just that, the full Suno experience at home, open source end to end, with both the language model and art generation done locally too. And for people who want the open router experience in case you can't afford to run not only the text to audio, but the LLM plus the comfy UI workflows locally, there's like an open router part of it as well, which is pretty fucking cheap. It comes out to like 0.0001 cents for the lyrics and like 2 cents for the pictures. So we'll log in and I'll show you what this web app Sonus is all about. We'll start off in the tools. I do plan to eventually add a Suno endpoint to this as well. And then I'm going to look at some other, perhaps making this a long-term project, considering we really are just only getting into text audio generation being not years, but perhaps even just months behind proprietary closed source models. So I might look at making Sonus a long-term project, depending on the amount of downstream stuff we get from other providers or AI labs with text to audio models. But yeah, like for example, I do plan to add a Suno API endpoint. I'll build the tool out to essentially allow you to hook your browser session cookie. And then you'll be able to use that here as well if you do want to build your profile. Again, you can custom if you want to go full local. You can use OpenIO compatible for LLM and the comfy workflow for the pictures, and then the open router option if you're hardware constrained. So we'll save that. We'll go ahead and we'll move along to the create functionality. I've done a little bit of tinkering here with how I've designed this. I found that Suno, despite it being pretty awesome, is actually quite fucking dog shit in how lackluster the granular details are. For example, you'll notice you'll play re-roll roulette, especially with language model created lyrics, because they just don't sound right or it doesn't rhyme. And that comes down to the fact that songwriting actually requires you to put a lot of work into the syllables and the amount of words per bar. So under the AI assist, I've not only built that out in the structuralize, so you can just steamroll through this quite quickly and easily, but under advanced settings, you can also fine tune the amount of syllables and also the amount of words per bar and then per section, so verse, chorus, pre-chorus, bridge, etc. We might quickly go through this, so I'll show you an example. Let's make a trap song, and it's about a dentist who is a vampire that works in the hood. I'm going to say I want this in Korean because the best part about this model is it's just not English. They've actually gone through and done, I think, something like Mandarin, Cantonese, Portuguese, Spanish, Korean, and I think even I've seen some users talking about they're getting Arabic generations out of this, so it's pretty fucking crazy. Their sample size amongst 100,000 songs must have been pretty diverse, but I want, language, Korean, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do it like this. We'll go intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, bridge, chorus, outro. We'll keep those default, add this to the prompt. We'll generate the song ID, and then that will take us to song mode for the custom mode to confirm our final settings. And once we're happy with that, we can scroll through and go, yep, this looks pretty good. I will get rid of that. I'll go through and tick artwork. I actually will quickly open up the library because I do want to grab some of my other song tags. We'll go here and I'll do this. Compensation stored at 808. Yep. Korean catchy, heavy bass. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We've also got workspaces here, so you can go ahead and create a new workspace. Everything goes to essentially the drafts or the default workspace. However, if you want to, for example, I'm doing Portuguese songs here, I'm doing maybe cinematic stuff here, you can create workspaces to drop those into upon creation and via the library. Under advanced settings, I've set it up so you can tweak both the temperature and CGF scale. We're not going to touch top K because fucking with that absolutely destroys whatever the model's trying to do in the back end. So these are the two settings you really just want to mess with. Higher the CFG, the more adherence, lower score, more randomness. And temperature-wise, I would probably not dip between 0.7 from the experiments I've done, and anything above 1.2 is just asking for a really nonsense tier generation. You can also set the custom duration, so that's essentially the amount of steps it will generate. However, just for the sake of it, I'm using this as a max audio length of 240 seconds or 4 minutes, and the model is smart enough with end of sequence tokens to know when to chop that short based on the song structure. So there's really no downside to just leaving it as a max generation, because once the song structure is done, it will hit that end of sequence token. So we'll go ahead, we'll create this song. That'll push that down, I'll start generating, and I can take you through the rest of the profile while that's generating. So go here. Here's the user profile. I'll collapse this. You've got your banner, which you can change your name. You can use AI to generate a new picture for it, for your banner. You can set the URL for your banner. Then you've got your spotlight. So for example, you can put your 3 favorite songs here. Then below that, you've got your like tracks, and at the bottom, you've got playlists. You can show here and have a listen to some of these generations, like for example,
신호등은 보이는데 내 발이 멈추질 않아. 차는 가는데 내 정신은 길 위를 떠다녀. 아 몰라 잠깐만 정차하면 진 거라 했지 맞나 에라이 모르겠고 나 speed up 아예 멈추지 않아. Skyline 사이딩 미러 속에 red light 계속 flashing out. 90으로 맞춰 날아. We ain't slowing down. 맨날 drip 서늘하게 번져. 돈으로 불태워 my city gon' glow. Foreign whip 당겨 시선 싹 다 번져. 내 사람들 real ain't no fakes in my row.
Midnight drip 그게 서울 city flow야. Flex 하루 종일 late night we let it show. Stack up the bag 계속 높이 올라가. 꿈꿔왔던 life 이젠 당연해졌잖아.
한강뷰로 시작해 밤의 네온 불빛. 샴페인 터뜨려 내 기분에 tribute. Rolling it all no limit. 우리의 손이 닿는 곳에 paper stacking higher. 이 삶이 just switched on another level. 더 이상 잘 굴리네 let's go. 잘 굴리네 solo. 돈을 돌리네 cash. 받을 돈이 도미노. 어린 어룡 안 돼. 양철판 개 뜯어놓고 엠린이 들게 소리 받아 펴봐 물게 넣고 Stay up 줄 서 있는 꼬북막 트라린 해머 하나로 12군데.
So the quality is pretty good. Even the English, English is probably the best. I would say English and Korean are probably the best
Steel
examples.
fingers, laser focus. Silicon sushi, trap lord. Yeah, double time. Circuit board inside my chest. Better than all of the rest. through the bone. I'm sitting on.
So here we go. Here's the song we were just generating. It's completed. We'll go ahead and give it a play. See what it turned out like.
Yeah. Dr. V in the building. 가로등 꺼진 이 거리. 빨간 불빛 아래 clinic. Let's get it. 새벽 3시 좁은 골목. 번쩍이는 다이아 그릴. 충치 따윈 관심 없어. 하얀 목이 내 주 타겟. 마취 없이 진행할게. 비명 소리 비트가 돼. 검은 가위 날리며 어둠 속에 이빨 들어. 간판 불은 꺼져 있어. 입 벌려봐 겁먹지 마. 은밀하게 들릴 소리. 붉은 액체 잔에 채워. 후드 안에 뱀파이어. 지과 의사 가면 쓰고 금리 속에 독을 심어. 한입 베어 물어버려. 달콤한 잎이의 냄새.
So yeah, this is pretty cool. This is like the first step, at least I've seen from my experience, towards actual Suno level stuff on the open source. And not only does it run on consumer hardware, like obviously I'm running a RTX Pro 6000, so it taking me like 2 minutes to generate a 4-minute song is not the best example of your experience on, say, a 3090. But the fact that you can do that anyway, even if it takes 5 minutes, is kind of fucking crazy. Especially with, like, I would not say the disinterest, but perhaps the non-incentive financially for open source models in this type of area to even exist in the first place. So big props to HeartMuse. I'm definitely going to be looking out for their following them on Hugging Face moving forward. I'm hoping they release the training architecture so we can go ahead and build our own low rank adaptation checkpoints. That would be pretty awesome, especially if you want to go into specific type of genres. You can just chuck 2,000 or 3,000 songs at it, and it'll be massively more fine-tuned to what you're trying to generate. I'm going to drop this project on my GitHub eventually. Probably not today, probably in the next few days. And then people can download it and run it themselves. So, any questions, just leave it on the video. Bye-bye.